Yo, what's up? Check. All right. Let me see if I could turn up my mic a little bit. Give me a second while I make some audio adjustments. We're doing this live. We just fired this up over here. I actually have a lot to say on this. Hopefully that's a little better. Yes, I do see the mic levels coming in better like this. Adjustment here. Okay, I think that's going to be as good as we get right there. Otherwise, I'm going to have to make an adjustment in the over here, so I'll make an adjustment like that. Okay. All right. So here we go. Check it out. Today, there's a NYCHA Townhall meeting. Let me see if I can share that on the screen. Okay. And you can see that this over here, here's the flyer. And I saw this in several Facebook groups that I'm in. Now, at first when I saw this, I was confused. I saw mi gente, my people. And, I thought like this looked like an organizational logo. So I said, who is this? And I really don't know these people. I said, what is this, doing here? Then I saw a NYCHA Townhall meeting. Then I saw like these phone numbers. I saw this mi gente email address. And if it was a NYCHA Townhall meeting, I would think it would be like a NYCHA email address. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. Does that make sense? Right? Yeah. But it's not. It's a Gmail address. I ain't mad at that. Right? Yeah. But right off the bat, like I was like, what is this? Wasn't really sure. Now, I heard, right, we see tenant leadership next steps, and I have heard, right, NYCHA capital projects letter to HUD. Okay. So the thing is that there already exists something called CCOP, right? That means City Council Presidents. That's supposedly an organization that officially is the head of all the tenant association presidents. Now, there's not that organization has some problems. No organization is perfect, and there will always be factions. Now, let's start to talk about someone that actually I get questions about. I actually have footage that I could show of people actually talking about Carmen Quinones. And actually, some of the things that I've seen really like do I want to share that? Okay. I have some stuff on my Facebook that kind of implies that Save Section 9 and the organizers, I found this to be Carmen Quinones is actually somehow associated with this event. I think, maybe, right, yeah. Or at least she's attending somehow, right? But a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about Carmen Quinones, okay? If I were anybody, right, if I were a tenant association president, even just as an activist, I just want to know what's going on. So I'm always going to be poking my nose to see what's going on here, what's going on there. I want to know. Straight up, you know what I mean? So anyways, the fact of the matter is that I really don't know what this is going to say to HUD about capital projects that's probably like could be asking for repair money. Okay. Now, out of all the groups that I work with, okay, there's some groups that don't really talk to me. I'm going to talk about right now Brooklyn Eviction Defense. Talk about lately, right? Yeah. Some emails have been returned by my counsel in the house. Like before, I sent many emails, they never ever responded. But when I had some people's cases I was working on, they responded. It really hasn't gone forward. I'm sorry to say. I'm going to get to some part of that later, but right now let's stick to the subject right now. Now, these cats that don't work with me, that do not write, yeah, that literally shut me off from opportunities. On the other hand, Carmen has made several opportunities available to me. Some of them I took advantage of, some of them I missed. Carmen understands my need for access and has even sat down with others that I've worked with, right, yeah? Like the wrongfully incarcerated. Even Diane Sarah, right? Now we're on the rocks, but the fact is that Carmen has followed up, right, with people that actually do the work. This is much further than others have done. She has also spoken to my own needs as an Asian American activist and talked about ways to help me overcome those barriers. So As in terms of the people that want to judge her, straight up, they haven't done for me what she has done for me, straight up. So, you can keep talking, you can keep criticizing if you want, okay? I'm not saying she's perfect, okay? Let's talk about the next part right here. I almost called my man Christopher Leon Johnson because I want to hear about this. I want to talk about this particular issue that a lot of people have problems there. Is this a Carmen apologist video? Partially, right? Yeah. Also, because I also gonna have a save Section 9 too because they have beef together, and that's what this is really about. Also, we're gonna talk about the Chelsea section towards the end, right? Yeah, and other stuff going on. But right now, it seems like there's gonna be some kind of potential face-off with Save Section 9 versus other 10 association leaders, blah, blah, saying this, saying that. Frankly, I don't give a damn if she met Trump. I don't think that's something she wants to, Carmen Quinones wants to talk about that right now. She said that she was fooled, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that was, but on video, I have how progressives literally ignore the plight of Asian American men, and not only us, but also those who have been wrongfully incarcerated. Now, the thing is that the Democrats better hold on to Carmen Quinones, because the fact of the matter is that other establishment politicians cannot say that they've sat down with Reverend Keith Gadsden. They cannot say, I don't know if she got to sit down with Nolan Farrell, but she has sat down with people that are in need, like straight up. Like, they can't say that, and without her being there, a lot of anti-Trumpers scream racism, but then completely have no answer as to why the bulk of Asian Americans sit on the other side, and they do not miss us or acknowledge this until it is brought up to them directly. Then they're all confused, because for a long time the picture of diversity did not have to include a face like mine. So, that's pretty much the apology for Carmen right there. If there's any evidence about her accepting some kind of deal, blah, 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 I know she has openly said that she works with Greg Russ. She should work with everybody. And if Greg Russ would come on my show and have an honest conversation, I'm ready to do that. Of course, I would hold him accountable and say what's going on here, what's going on there. I would not just accept stuff, which is probably why he's not coming on the show. Also, I have small numbers. But that's not really 100% his fault. Really the community gets to choose who they want to be activists in this game. And, if these other shows can shut me out because there's not really a, my work is unfunded. And the sacrifice, that I make to take the time to cover stuff and edit it, when Jerry Lin did good, okay, that year they kicked him out of New York. They don't want someone like an Asian man coming up. It's scary to them. So, the fact of the matter is that, can I even afford to go to today's event, while I'm helping people in public housing in Chelsea and stuff like that, and editing those videos and put them together? Fuck you, no, I can't. I just cannot fucking afford it. And the letter to HUD, I already have meetings with the Federal Monitor, okay? The Federal fucking Monitor. Carmen, you said you've met with the Federal Monitor, right? Yeah, and you said and they are talking to you, which is good, right? And you have great recommendations. I think last time we were talking about the door locks and things like that. You're an actual tenant switch president. You're dealing with these real issues. You have on the ground real knowledge. Once again, you are a role model for public housing. You're not just someone who volunteers. You're someone who's actually run for office. There's someone who's, meeting with, the same people that I'm meeting with, right? Or even, you're talking to Greg Russ. You're talking to, what shouldn't she talk if the opportunity becomes available? I'm not saying that, the implementation is also key, right? Yeah. Once again, the people who criticize me, they haven't helped me as much, number one. Number two, right? Yeah. Carmen's too smart to get treated like me. Honestly, right? Yeah. If y'all weren't suppressing me and holding me back and holding me down, right? Then honestly, I might be on your side. Okay? But while y'all suppressing me, you cannot fucking expect me to really help you with fucking anything. Okay? That's just what it is. I don't get to choose who I get to work with. Some people find me expendable. When Sunrise, okay, I'm gonna call them out right the fuck now, Sunrise, okay, decided to boot me without giving me a chance to face my accusers, they violated my constitutional rights. When they had decided to have a trial, without a jury, they fucked that up too. I want a trial by jury. I want to have other people that's in the organization, right? Little people, not your freaking white millionaire bosses, right? Yeah, sending the commandment down that this guy's got to get rid of because their buddies, their other rich friend in another organization said, we want this guy out of here. Yeah, but dear Benjamin, you must be tripping. Smack you, yeah. Look, I also want to say right now that Save Section 9, Ramona distinguished herself among that group by standing up for me when others did not. So I'm not going to turn on her, yeah? She's a real fighter, and she's super effective. So I'm really sad that it looks like Ramona and Carmen are kind of facing off here. I'm not saying that either of them are really wrong for that. Also, just so you know, I'll get to some other things about this real soon, but let me just finish up this particular topic here, okay? Before I move on to another related, okay? Supposedly the press is already attending, okay? People getting paid, okay? I'm not getting paid, okay? I cannot keep affording to keep coming out to these things and covering these things, I just don't have the viewership or the support really to support this type of work. I really don't. I just can't. It's fucking true. I have to pick and choose. Now, we're at that fucking point. Now, once again, the Carmen haters, okay? Carmen's not going anywhere. No matter what she's doing behind the scenes, I can't know all she does. She's engaged in the political process. She has been for a long time. It's very clear she's not going to just quit or go away, all right? She's figuring a lot of this stuff on her own, and do you expect her to create a perfect, unflawed masterpiece on the first iteration? That's, she has a lot to teach, and she has a lot of value. Unfortunately, this game, right, and this is true for all the sides, I know they all understand this. I'm just telling my viewers who may not be. In this game, you can't trust anyone. You can't count on loyalty, rationality, or even fairness. Only guarantees are betrayal and disappointment. It's just what it is. But let's now go on to a little bit of the policy issues that may lead to this kind of infighting, which I think and explain to you my own position, which is actually not talked about by either side. I should make this into its own video for real. Okay, on both sides of the fight, okay, you only have the narrative spun by the millionaires. Okay, on one side, we can't afford it. We don't want to pay for these poor people, right? Yeah, we're having our little parties. We're having our wealth, our good times. And those people with the bad times are spoiling the parties, so fuck them. Okay, there's one faction like that. Okay. Then, there's another faction, okay, in this fight, and I would say this is kind of more like Save Section 9 and Luis Flores' position, okay? And I'm not really against this, but I'll tell you that I don't think it's really 100% right. I think it's actually kind of disrespectful in a way, okay? So the thing is that their position is that the market cannot be trusted to take care of the most vulnerable, and they're absolutely right. I believe that to my core of my being. I believe that they are correct at that. So they say that we must protect public housing as a concept. Okay? And I agree with that, so I'm not going to stand against them, but here's my issue. Okay? Back in the day, and this is not being said by either side. I'm going to clip this into its own video too. Yeah, this is going to be in this video and it's going to be in the next video too. The fact of the matter is that I was around when the original, law got passed, and there was discussion on this, and we were told by other activists on the ground, right, that were around the building this particular program, that a second fight should have to occur, and that a fight is supposed to happen right now. Okay? Now, the fact of the matter is that, let me just put to you the backdrop of how this all developed. I think I've said this before. Okay. The fact of the matter is that the government says they can't pay for the repairs on the apartment because the rent is low. Right? Sometimes people aren't even paying rent. They're paying $50 a month, $15, $20. They have free utilities, right? Just everything's how are they going to pay for repairs on the apartment? Okay, so, okay, I could see that, right? Yeah, I mean, hopefully there's money coming in for taxpayer money or other things, right? They could fund something like that, but they're just saying like, okay, they don't want to do it anymore. Okay, but we can't rob them. So they say this, right? Yeah, but we're not going to sign off on some kind of just ending public housing as we know it. But they want us to do this. So this is the deal they make for us. And gets people like myself to back off. So I feel responsible here. Okay? They say that the community, right? The people... Oh, wait, is the mic on? Yes, the mic is on, okay. So they say that the people that are poor, who are living in those homes, right, yeah, people that are actually poor, that they're the ones who are going to get to own the property, right? And the fact is that these apartments, okay, if you take a look, someone who's been living in, let's say, Queensbridge, right? You see the property in Long Island City leap up by, the value goes up by millions of dollars. Millions. Back in the day, I could have gotten, during, around the 9/11 era, I could have gotten a studio out there with, Florida windows, windows, for, maybe 10, a G to 1,500 a month. Yeah, I mean, just because it was industrial area, just warehouses, it would have been beautiful, yeah. Instead, I set up in Jackson Heights, but, that would have been fucking lovely and incredible. Whatever. Now that the place has turned into a 3,000, 5,000, it's just it's turning into another Dumbo. It's just not accessible for poor people. Well, it is in a way, yeah. It's just not the legal way necessarily. Anyways, so let's get back to the issue right here, right? So the fact of the matter is that we have this kind of fact that the real estate is going to be worth a lot more money, and the community, right? People that lived in that community, if you used to live in Long Island City and you had, a brownstone, well, there wasn't really brownstone, but if you had property out there, then all of a sudden now it's worth way more. And as a community, you've benefited. But these people who live in public housing are also part of the community, right? And if the community goes up, shouldn't they also be getting, part of that, right? Why should it only go to certain people? So, this is a way for the community to give back and to actually make these people into owners, right? Like, you take a look at the American Indians, right? We kind of took their land from them. Now we can kind of give land back in a way, to the poorest, the most affected by, negative circumstances, right? Sounds kind of cool. But now these people are actually being forced out of their home onto the street, right? Yeah, because they're not being told that this is available to them. So the thing is that Lewis gets really triggered when I tell people that they can own their own home too. That's another option. It's up to them to decide, not for you. Yeah, I do believe in continuing help for public housing, and I do support saving Section 9. Okay, I do, but that's why they're mad at me, and I challenge them to say otherwise. Maybe it's against the strategy, whatever, but I'm telling you that's the God's truth. I think it's really up to the tenants to have all the information and then to make their own decision. I don't feel like they're really giving out the complete information right there. They're trying to steer them for their own vision. So remember I said there's two sides. One faction is, we're rich, we're having a good time, we don't want you spoiling our party. The other side is, we have, and unfortunately this also touches on the environmental scene as well, right? Yeah. We are rich people, and we have this vision for the world, and we're going to make the poor people pay for it, right? They could actually, right? It's really unfortunate, right? Yeah. They use their resources to control the access, to control leadership, control marketing and narrative, and they do with no apology. And they cannot be trusted to take care of the vulnerable in the future. I'm telling you right now. I've seen it before. Yeah, they become another elite class that becomes immune to the actual, that actually ends up competing with the community that's supposed to serve. And that's, it just can't work. Alright, so this event today, it's a little weird. Anyways, is it official NYCHA? I don't know. It still doesn't have that email right yet. It's a little weird. Did I email? Maybe I'll RSVP to Mi Gente and see what's up, but I'm not counting on anything. Just, once again, Carmen Quinones has actually, addressed a lot of my concerns in ways that a lot of these other organizations won't even open the door. You know what I mean? So, I was going to ask, Christopher Leon Johnson about this. He doesn't like her, but I really value his opinion. But the thing is that, come on, man. Where is Susan Lee as in terms of doing like an interview on my channel, Christopher? Yang Tan, right? Yeah, you see her a bunch of stuff, right? She never has a moment for me to do an interview. Not in a year's time. Why is that, Chris? It seems weird to me. How about you, bro? But either way, man, it's not your fault, right? Yeah, but I'm just telling you, man, like, I would trust Carmen Quinones before them. Why wouldn't I? Carmen has time to talk to me. What about these people? You know what I mean? Kylie Kleinman, I don't trust her. I really don't. I'm not really happy with Tiffany Caban either. Can't trust these bougies, man. Anyways, man. Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna... So, I hope to see some stuff in the chat right there, you know what I mean? Maybe someone has their own idea about what's going on. I'm probably going to just stop by. I don't really plan on staying. I can't really afford to stay. But I do want to see what's going on here. I hope people aren't protesting. We're going to see what's up. Maybe they are, yeah. What would they be protesting? Are we supposed to be... Hopefully we could really see what they want to say to HUD. I'll just get some talk from people outside and say, like, what do you want to say to HUD? And then we'll see what they put together and if that reflects my own documentation, which I don't see why it wouldn't. We'll see, yeah. But, respect to this event, I think it's a proactive thing they're trying to address, If NYCHA sends a capital project letter to HUD, that's not a bad idea, right, to relay some concerns. Sounds like if there's an issue, I invite anybody to my channel to talk about that or to comment below, right? But overall, right, more communication, just on its surface, it sounds like a good thing. So I'm generally supportive. Don't really know so much about it, right? If I don't know, I should shut the fuck. Yeah, maybe that's true too. Yeah, then say something yourself, or I have to do what I know, right? Yeah, that's all I can do. Oh well. Yeah, and that hurts me a lot too. Yeah. Thanks. Well, in the end, yeah, there's other parties that will manufacture a narrative about this event for their own purposes, be it good or bad. I'm just not going to trust the goddamn thing. Alright, well, I'm going to go see what's up for myself. Mi Gente. Okay. Let's send the email too. Let's make sure that let's do that on camera. Let's do that on camera. You know why? I wrote an email this morning, and I said, let me just make this public. So, Mi Gente, my people, @gmail.com. Okay. And I would like to RSVP. and I'm interested to talk about this project. Yeah. Yeah, maybe afterwards we can see like what the letter was, you know what I mean? Maybe the press will cover this. Either way. I support more communication. Okay. Now, there may be some concerns, right? Yeah, like the letter to HUD may be saying like, oh, like, you know, we think that you guys should do this or do that. We may be asking for a certain number of funding, blah, 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 which just happens to correlate with some other numbers that were cited by certain politicians, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? That's not a negative thing to work together, right? Yeah, it makes those politicians more likely to support a program that just happens to be in line with their stuff. So that seems like a smart way to attack things. So generally, I do feel that people might say only 10 associate presidents get to talk there. I do feel like Ramona, if she's there, I think that she's put together a pretty cool thing, and I know there might be at odds, but I think that she has some, I would listen to her. You get what I mean? I would. I really would, yeah. Either way, yeah, I'm not saying that I would trust everything, right? Yeah, but I think she's definitely worth listening to. She hasn't given me a reason to really have, I know people say things about Carmen, people say things about Ramona, people say things about me, yeah. Listen, we'll see what happens, yeah? Let me just stop. We're about to find out. It's almost time to go. We're about to find out what's going to happen. I can't wait. Last time I left these two, they were talking to each other. Now I find out that apparently there's something else is going on. We're going to have to find out what's going on here. Okay. I don't even really know. I don't even really have time to find out, really. Hopefully they can work that out. Hopefully I can attend this shit. Okay, let's send this. Okay. Yeah, so let me just send that. Okay, boom. Sent. Okay, so let's just document that that's been done. Goodbye.